So if somebody were to ask you, how do you respond when you make a mistake, or when life throws a whole bunch of things at you, what do you do to make things better? How would you reply back to those questions? I think some people who go through a lot, they're tempted to spend a lot of time hesitating before responding to a challenge. They overthink it, they overanalyze it, when the answer to their problem is just plain simple, right? It's just do something about it. Just do the thing that's right and the thing you believe in. And I also think that some people live in fear and they live in this doom and gloom mindset where they think, oh man, like if I do something, if I take a risk, if I really push for the things I want in life, all these bad things might happen, right? I might get hurt, things might not go well. But my response to that is, okay, well, what happens when you don't take the risk? What happens when you don't push for the things you want in life? You don't go anywhere. You get stuck, right? So actually the consequences that might happen from taking a risk are far greater than just sitting there not doing anything and being in this constant state of comfort, because when you're not doing things, you're not building relationships or networking or anything like that. So it's always good to put yourself out there and to try to be the best person you can be so you can build those relationships and network, talk to people to get to where it is you want to go. Now, where does that fear come from? Of course, there's a spiritual aspect to everything, but I think some of that fear might, maybe it does come from the people in your life who are anxious themselves. They're always scared, always concerned, always thinking that the next step forward is going to end up in a disaster. It's the play it safe mentality. And it's kind of ironic to use the words play it safe because, like I've mentioned already, when you don't take risk or if you're not trying to succeed in life, through taking risk or whatever it is you're doing, it's going to get worse. So playing it safe can sometimes really be the most dangerous thing you could do in some aspects, depending upon what it is. But I would say that's kind of like the general rule. But that's why it's always good to surround yourself with people who are going to propel you forward in a healthy way. So you have people who will give you that kind of accountability to say, hey, like, you got to step up your game here. This is not good. And realize, too, that sometimes when people don't take risk and they don't take steps in the right direction, it's because they fear other people's opinions about who they are, what their calling is in life, what God designed them to do. They're very scared of other people's opinions on that. But my best advice for those who kind of think that way is if you're doing the right thing, who cares? Like, it really doesn't matter what they think because you have to grow as an individual. There's not really another option. So you can either listen to other people and stay stuck where you are, or you can do the right thing and take yourself out of that space, do the hard thing really, and, just do what you got to do to be successful. So if this piece of advice is hitting home for you right now, just to kind of summarize, it's really all about not living in fear and understanding that our Creator who made this universe made it for a reason. He's not going to abandon you when you're walking in the right direction in life. He made you for a reason. He gave you those things you're interested in to take you to the next thing He wants you to do. So don't ignore that, because God is all about order. He's placed everything together in the universe perfectly for His purposes. And I love this verse from the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, Verse 6, in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight, or He will make straight your paths. It's such an inspiring, encouraging verse in Scripture that shows us even when people doubt you, when they say it's not possible, when they say you're too far gone, when they say, you're just one person that can't do anything, even when they say all of those things, we see it's just not true. We can become successful no matter what our place is in life. We just have to stay the course and trust that if we're doing the right thing, we will have what we need to grow and become better. So I really hope all of this encourages you wherever you are today, and just praying that somebody who needs to hear this ends up hearing it.